The purpose of the Learn.UQ template is to support staff improve the design of their course sites. One core goal is to ensure consistent navigation across courses so students can quickly and easily find the information they require. A second core goal is to ensure courses have a professional look and feel. The hidden menu item, Tips for Staff, provides information on the course template and links to resources and guides. Just click on one of the links to expand the menu. If you scroll down, it also provides a link to the banner tool. To ensure consistent navigation across courses, do not make any changes to the course menu unless absolutely necessary. In particular, make sure that you're using the course staff area, the learning resources area, and the assessment area. Also, do not make changes to the colour scheme, which has been tested and meets accessibility guidelines. It's recommended the first announcement welcomes and orientates students to your course. To help you with this, the sample has been provided. You can use the sample as is, or you may choose to edit the sample, or you may choose to delete and replace it. Links to a resource on writing welcome messages is available in Tips for Staff. You will need to replace the placeholder banner image. You can design your own banner, use a template provided by your school, or use the banner tool. So if I go to Tips for Staff and I'll open the banner tool. So the banner tool will put in your course code as well as the title of your course automatically. Then you can just search for an image, so type in a search word and select an image. You may need to test a couple to see if they work because it'll cut them off a bit. So yes, I like that one, and just download the image. To upload the image, scroll down to the control panel and select Customization Teaching Style. Scroll down to select a banner and select to delete the placeholder image and browse your computer to find the image you've just downloaded. Then click on Submit. If you go back to Announcement, you'll see that your banner has now been uploaded. In the course staff area, add information on your course staff, including their role, their contact details, and a photo. You can edit the sample here, so just choose Edit and use Create Contact to add more staff. Now there's also a folder, so if you have a large number of staff in your course, you may elect to put all the tutors, for example, details in a folder. So again, just click on the link and create contact. If you only have a small number of staff, you may just want to put them all straight in the course staff area. So I'm just going to edit the sample. So I've just paused the video and added in some details. I put in my role and example of what I should be contacted about, and I've deleted the extra help text, and should also then add your profile image. So I'm just going to remove the one that's there and browse and find an image. So I've paused the video and I've added an image. The personal link, this is a good spot to put a link to your UQ Researcher's profile, and just click on Submit. The image should be about 150 by 150 pixels, so a square image. It will resize it, but it can become a bit distorted. If you do decide to use a folder, just remember that it's not available to students and you may want to edit it, so just click and choose Edit. So you can change the text and make sure you choose the option Yes for make the folder available and Submit. The course help area is an area to provide information to students on where they can find support, and hopefully it will reduce the number of misdirected questions you receive via email. Now, there are examples of the types of information that you can add. Some of them may not be applicable to your course. They're not available, so if you're going to use the examples, make sure you make them available. So I'll just go to this one and click Edit and scroll down and select Permit users to view this content and Submit. The idea of the area is not to duplicate information that can be found in other places, rather to direct students to where they need to go. So for example, assessment extensions, that information may be available in your ECP already. So you just need to edit this. So for example, I've edited the item and referred the students to the ECP section 5 for information on how to apply for an extension, and I've made the item available. Another example which shows here, I've edited the item and I've actually included a link to the school website for information on how to apply for an extension, and I've made the item available. The Learning Resources area also contains some support help text. This area should contain all the course materials your students will need. It also should be organised from the student's point of view, i.e. preferably by week or module. Folders for each week have been provided. The lecture recording link should be at the top of this area, so i.e. you can place it there because the support text will not be viewable to students. Optionally, you could also turn off the icons. So if I come up here, I can select Show Text Only. Optionally, the topic can be added to the weekly folder title. It's also recommended you give a brief overview of what the students will be studying that week. Content from a previous semester that's been copied forward will be placed at the end of the area, and you may need to move it to a weekly folder if it's done in the right structure. So for example, there's lecture PowerPoints in this folder, so I'm going to move them to the correct weekly folder. So you may move the whole folder. I'll choose Move, but I'm actually going to go into this area and just choose the lecture notes. So just click on the item and choose Move, and then you'll need to browse and select where you want to move it to, so in this case week 1, and Submit. So if I go to that weekly folder now, that content should have been added, and it will be added to the bottom. This here is just an example. So one of the things to note with the example, which may be useful to you, is it's really a good idea to provide further information with each resource about what the students should be doing with the content. So in this case, read, refer, review. You may also want to provide a link to an assessment item. So all the assessment should be information be placed in the assessment area, but if a student should be working on that assessment item this week, you might want to add a course link to that in the Learning Resources area. So to do that, you go Build Content, Course Link, put in the name, and then choose Browse. So I'm going to choose Assessment Task 1. And then click Submit. So it's showing there. You might also want to add some information, just reminding students that they should be working on this assessment task this week. And there's an example there. The assessment area also includes inbuilt support text for staff that's not available to students. In this area, students expect to find all the materials they need for their assessment tasks. It's recommended that you include a screenshot of the assessment table from the ECP. To add your ECP screenshot image, go Build Content, Image, navigate and find your image. Ensure you put a description of the image in the alt text box, and once you've selected the image, press Submit. And you'll need to move the image to the top of the page. The other thing you should do, as you can see, is rename the folders so they use the exact title as in the ECP for the task. It's also recommended that you include a short descriptor of the task as well. The first assessment folder also includes support help text inbuilt, which is not available to students, and examples of the type of content you may add. As with the course help area, the idea is not to duplicate information but refer students to where the information can be found, i.e. if the task description is already in the ECP, direct students to go to the ECP. Online submission links should be put at the top of the folder, and make sure you don't turn the icons off so the students can tell the difference between Turnitin, Blackboard and ePortfolio assignments. It is also recommended that you do not include assessment due dates anywhere but the ECP assessment table. This is to ensure you don't have version control issues and when you don't remember to update the due date in all locations.